Hello and welcome. Now in this video, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna continue on improving our code editor application. So as I promised you, ladies and gentlemen, what we are gonna do, we are gonna learn about menus and how to add menus inside our application. So what we need to do, if you remember, ladies and gentlemen, when we creating, for example, an animation, okay, we were creating a separate folder, okay, of type animation, and then we are storing all the animations files in that folder. Now the same thing goes with menus. If you want to create menus inside your Android application, you need to create separate folder for them and then storing everything inside that folder. And that folder lives inside the res folder. So I'm gonna right click on my res folder, then we should choose new. Let's wait for the Android Studio, okay, to create that folder for us. Okay, I do not know why it's not showing me. Okay, so I'm gonna new, then Android resource directory. I'm gonna choose the menu type. Okay, so here from the resource type, click on it and choose the menu and click OK. And Android Studio will take about everything. It will create a menu folder for you. It will be empty, of course, but we are gonna add our own file in that folder. So I'm gonna click close these activities because I do not need them anymore. So here, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we have this menu folder. Okay, I'm gonna right click on it and create my own menu file. I'm gonna create a new menu resource file. I'm gonna call it, for example, the main underscore menu. I'm gonna click enter or OK, or Android Studio will create this file for us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for the menus, what you will do, or what I'm gonna do, we are gonna create the menu here and we are gonna call it inside our activity main.xml file. Okay, so this is how it's work with the menus. So first of all, you need to create the menus, then call them inside any activity that you would like to show menu inside of it. So for the main menu file, here we have it. What we are gonna do, we are gonna design our own menu. So simply here we have this menu item. Okay, I'm gonna click on it and drag it and drop it inside my menu. Okay, so for example, I'm gonna drag 4 of these. Okay, now we have 2 now, and you may be wondering why I'm dragging 4. I will tell you in a second, just be patient. Okay, and we are gonna add the 4th. Okay, so as you can see what I did, we have added 4 items inside our menus. Now, of course, why should add 4? Of course, for the first one, here we have this properties window. I'm going to click on the first one, and here we have the properties window that's related to that item. So first of all, I'm going to change the title to say run. Okay, I'm gonna give our user the ability to run our application from 2 places. The first one is from the button and the second one from the menu. And here we have the title, set it to be run, and the ID I'm gonna also call it run underscore menu. Okay, and also the ID for our first item, it's run underscore menu, and the title, it's run. Now for the second one, what we are gonna do, we are gonna set the title to be for example, add HTML code. Okay, and the ID should be something specific, so I'm gonna make it add underscore code, or HTML underscore code. Okay, and for the third one will be, for example, clear the everything. Okay, and for the ID should be also clear. Okay, and to clear I mean the auto text, the edit text. And for the last one will be close. Okay, or exit or quit, and here we are gonna make it close also. And sorry for the ID, for the title should be in uppercase, and for the ID should be in lowercase. Okay, I'm gonna just here put it like this. Now ladies and gentlemen, what we did, we have created our file menu. Now what we need to do, we need to call it or inflate it inside our main activity. And to do this, we are gonna do something. Okay, it's not very easy, it's easy actually, but the code, it's long. Okay, so do not worry. Okay, we are gonna write a long code, but it will be very easy to understand. Now let's go ahead and type everything from scratch. So the first thing that we need to do, it's actually override. Okay, I mean the override, it's actually it's the functions that come with Android Studio, and we can override them to do certain thing. Okay, so with that in place, let's get started. So the first function that we need to override it, it's actually, there are two of them that we need to override, and the first one, it's actually called on create option menu. Okay, so type on create, and we need to search for the on create menu option, or type it on create. We have the option here, we have it on create option menu. Click on it and Android Studio will add it for you. Okay, so remove this line and type it like this. Type with me, ladies and gentlemen. So as I said, we need to inflate the file menu. Okay, so I'm gonna create a variable, call it inflator. Okay, inflator, and it's equal to the menu inflator. Okay, we should see the menu inflator right here. Now ladies and gentlemen, what we are gonna do, we are gonna inflate this menu. Okay, so type inflator, which is the variable that we have created. Okay, dot inflate, and here it will ask us for the resources for our menu. So type r dot layout, and not layout, sorry, for r dot menu dot the main menu file that you have created. And the second one, it will ask you for a menu, and you can just pass this object right here. So I'm gonna type menu very easily. Okay, so everything is set up, and last but not least, we need to return something for this function, and this something will be either true or false, because this function, it's expecting from us to return a boolean. Now in our case, we are gonna return a true, because we are inflating our menu successfully. Now we have finished our first function. Now for the second one, which will be our on option item selected. Okay, so this is the function that we are gonna make it very long. So type on option item selected, and we have it right here, the first one. Okay, and everything is set up. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just give some space. Okay, here, and what we are gonna do, ladies and gentlemen, so everything we need to do, it's actually, now this method will get executed once the user click on one of our items here in this menu. Okay, where is it? Let me open it. Here is it. Okay, once the user click on one of these items, this method here will get executed. So first of all, we need to check for which button was clicked, and to do that, we have the option to use either the if statements or the when. And so the best option here to use the when statement. Okay, so I'm going to use the when, and what we need to check for what? For the item, because this item here hold all the items that we have created. Okay, so type when item, okay, dot item ID. That means we are checking for the item ID. Okay, when the item ID, I think we should add the null safety here, because the ID may be null. Okay, so I'm gonna add the question mark. Okay, and I'm gonna open this. Okay, for the if statement, and here what we are gonna do, we are gonna add all the cases that we have. For example, r.id, that means if the ID was r.id.run menu, that means the user click on the run. Okay, so what we need to do, what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna call the run function that we have added, okay, because the user will run his code from the menu, and we are gonna we forgot to return something because it's expecting from us to return. Okay, okay, we already returned it right here. Okay, so we do not want to return something else. Now I think I'm gonna leave it like this. So let me check if we can return it. We should return true. Yeah, we have that true right here. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, so what we did, first of all, we check for the item here. Okay, that's hold all the items that we have in our menu, and we are checking for the ID. Okay, if the ID was equal to our run menu, that means the user click on the first one. Okay, so we wanna execute our code, and to execute our code, we are gonna call this run function. Okay, and let's check for another case. So for example, r.id, if the ID was add the HTML code, okay, we are gonna give the user the ability to add the code. Okay, and what I'm gonna do, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna leave this for later on because I will tell you something. Okay, so just leave it like this and we will go back to it. Okay, so I'm gonna let's check for another cases. Okay, so I'm gonna type r.id.clear. Okay, if the ID was clear, what we are gonna do, we are just gonna remove everything that we have inside our autocomplete text view, and we can type the user code dot text. That means we are gonna set a text inside our autocomplete text view. It's equal to something empty because we do not want to add anything inside our the edit text. Okay, so it's actually to set text, user to set text. Okay, and we are gonna leave it empty like this. Okay, and also we want to return true in this case. Okay, because we are clearing everything that we have. And for the last case, what was r.id.close, okay, what we are gonna do, we are just gonna close the whole program. Okay, so to close the program that we are in, just call the function finish. Okay, and return true also, and everything is set up. So ladies and gentlemen, the code, as I said, it's too long. Okay, but we have everything set up. Okay, we have what we did, ladies and gentlemen, we have explained everything. Okay, so you do not need to be afraid, okay, from this code. Okay, so what we did, ladies and gentlemen, we check for everything here, for the item, for which item was clicked, and do the code that we want to do. Now going back to our add the HTML code, so what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, we need to type the code that you see, okay, for the startup HTML code. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you from where you can get this code, and we are gonna continue on. Now as you can see, guys, we have this website called W3 Schools. Okay, online I have this, and if you search, for example, the HTML start code, you will find this code. Okay, and what we are gonna do, we are gonna copy this code. Okay, because this is the startup for the simple HTML document. Going back to our Android Studio, what we are gonna do, we are gonna type user code, okay, dot text, and we should assign the copy that we just copied from the website to here. So instead of typing text, we should type user code dot set text, okay, to be our code that we have copied. So I'm gonna type user code dot set text. It should be like this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I just pasted the code that I have already copied, and we do not forget to assign the return. Okay, so I'm gonna type return true, and everything should work as we wanted. So ladies and gentlemen, everything that we have set it's fantastic. We have make our code Functional, we have inflated this menu, we have added the functionality for it, and we should be in a great place. So thank you guys so much for watching. We are gonna continue on in the next video.